Hey guys, we're back here with Darren, and we were just talking about the Suns, and I was asking him, knowing how bad the Suns are, do you see Devin Booker leaving the Suns or trying to request a trade in the offseason?
I think Devin Booker will stay. I think he will leave a legacy like Kobe did with the Lakers. I think Booker will do the same thing as Kobe did, following his footsteps. Knowing how great, how on pace Devin Booker is. I think he reached 4,000 points. He's the fastest player, or not the fastest. He's the third fastest to reach 4,000 points this season, or in the career.
Yeah, and I feel so
Behind,
bad for him, like I was just saying, because he doesn't have anybody to help him out there.
Right.
And if he had a couple other players there, the Suns would be a threatening team for sure. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't think he'll request a trade. I don't think he's going to stay there his entire career. I think that might take the Gordon Hayward approach, and that's seeing how far the team can get if he stays there for a couple more years, and then maybe try to leave.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I see that happening.
In terms of the Mavericks, I was going to say that dunk contest was really weak. I got to say that.
Right.
And Dennis Smith honestly had the best dunk in the contest, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he had that crazy between the legs switching hands. That was crazy.
I don't know how he didn't make it through.
No, I don't either. I think he was better than Nance.
Oh yeah. He was better than Nance. I like him better than Nance.
Yeah.
Nance shouldn't. I don't think Nance really performed well. He missed a lot too.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, he missed a couple dunks that were that he should have been able to put away, and it was pretty ridiculous that he didn't.
Right.
All right, cool. So we got a couple of weeks left in the NBA season, and I wanted to go ahead and discuss and give an update on the MVP discussion that I had with Zach a couple of weeks ago as well. So we were talking about players who should be in, and we were talking about Harden and LeBron, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Who you think you would put at the top 5 for the MVP category? Would you agree it would go Harden, LeBron for the top 2, and then who would you put at 3, 4, and 5?
Yeah, I would agree. Harden and LeBron at top 2. For 3, 4, and 5, I think that's pretty tough for me. Or actually, no, I would put KD at 3. 4 and 5. Either Curry or Giannis at 4. And I don't know, even Anthony Davis. I think it's those 3 players that are that have the talks into the top 5 list. But I would say LeBron first, James Harden at 2nd, KD at 3.
That's interesting. I was going to ask you, what is the main reason that you would put LeBron over Harden for MVP this season?
I think it's because LeBron's still carrying up the team. I think he's been a great leader for them. He's traded away a lot of players. A lot of players have gone, and they pretty much rebuild with players who I thought were not going to help Cleveland. I'm not going to bring down on Jordan Clarkson. He's a good player. I don't know about Rodney Hood. Who else they traded for?
Larry Nance.
Larry Nance. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good trade, but it turns out that they're doing pretty well, especially Jordan Clarkson.
Well, getting rid of all the players that they did with, IT,
Right,
that
didn't work out
Rose,
for them.
Crowder, all those guys. And speaking of his stats, so LeBron, he's having literally one of the best seasons of his career. He's averaging 26.7 points, 9 assists, which is the best of his career. He's never averaged 9 assists per game in any season. And then 8.4 rebounds, which is the second best of his career. His best was last season, which is crazy. That he's literally becoming more of a passer and more of a force on the boards towards the end of his career. That's insane. Like, you'd never see players do that. He has a PR of 28 at 33 years old. So that is extremely crazy, and I'm not going to deny that he's definitely in the MVP conversation. I don't think that you can debate that at all. In terms of Harden, the only reason I would put him number one is because if you look at what Harden is capable to do every single season is insane. He literally keeps on somehow improving his game every season. He got 29 points per game in the 15-16 season, 29.1 last year. He's getting 31.3 this year, and that's not the only thing.
Oh, yeah,
he's becoming more and more of a passer. Last year he averaged 11.2. Now he's averaging 9. This is his third best season in terms of rebounding, 5.3. His PR is the best of his career at 30.54. And, you know, he does take a lot of free throws. I'm not going to deny that. But if you look at his field goal percentage, it is the second best of his career at 45% from the field, 38.3% from downtown. That's the second best of his career. This guy can't be stopped. I mean, LeBron can't either. That's the thing. That's why it's such a close race. I think people kind of disrespect LeBron a lot when it comes to this conversation, and they think it's a clear-cut race, which I don't think it is. But I would personally give Harden the edge just because of the PER, and I think that's an important stat. Plus, if you look at his shooting percentages, I think it's just he's out of this world.
Right, I see. Yeah, that's true. He's 38% from the three, but he's taken 10.6 shots. LeBron is 36% from the three, taking only 5.
And that's interesting as well. That's the thing is, well, then that's the thing. They're two different players, which is why it's hard to compare them. Is you have a person who is actually been playing point guard in Harden, along with Chris Paul. They've kind of been going back and forth between the 1 and 2. And then you've got LeBron, who can almost play any position out there on the court. He can play anything from the 1 to the 4, to be honest with you. And he can guard pretty much any position out there on the court as well. It's kind of like KD in a way. It's tough. It's tough to compare because LeBron isn't as much of a shooter. He's more of a driver. He's more aggressive down low. Harden's more of that step back shooter. So it's two different styles of games that are going up against each other. If you're going 1-on-1, LeBron would dominate him, in my opinion. But I think overall, in terms of LeBron's always going to have the most value to team, because if LeBron's not there, your team is 500 at best. If LeBron's with your team, you're an instant title contender, period. He's that big of an impact, which is why I say he could literally win MVP every year. He could have 8 MVPs right now. It's just with Harden that he's been playing so good every single season, and he's never won the MVP, which is why I think that he deserves it.
Right. That's surprising. I would think that I thought James Harden was gonna be winning MVP. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember.
Well, there was the conversation last year between Westbrook and Harden.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Last year. Yeah. It was a pretty close one.
It was really close. Yeah, I agree.
It's a close one for me this year between these two, LeBron and Harden.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how these last 25 games or so wrap up. Because since they are so close, we'll see if they can actually keep up that consistency or not. That's going to be the interesting thing to see. The next thing I wanted to get into here with you, there's 2 more things I want to talk about. The first one has to do with the Lakers. So the Lakers are 27-34. It's pretty much going to take a miracle for them to get back to where they need to be if they're going to get to the playoffs. But the Lakers just got Isaiah Thomas from the Cavs, and he's been coming off the bench with them. God dang it, I freaking hate advertisements on YouTube. I'm just turning the volume down. But so you have, ever since he's been with the Lakers, the last 7 games, he's been averaging 15.4 points per game. He got 29 last night. On the season, he's been averaging 15.4, 4.5 assists, 2 rebounds, and then Lonzo, who is the one starting, is averaging 10.2 points per game, 7 assists, and 7.1 rebounds. Lonzo's, they both have, well, Isaiah has a 14 player efficiency rating, Lonzo has a 13. but I want to get your thoughts. So, who do you think should be starting at point guard for the Lakers? Do you think it should be Lonzo? Do you think it should be Isaiah? Do you think they should both be starting, and why?
I think it should be Isaiah, mainly because he's been fitting more into the scheme than Lonzo. I think him and Kuzma would be a good duo. I think Lonzo needs some time to develop for himself. Since Isaiah has been, he hasn't done so well with Cleveland, knowing that he's had the injury. But I think he fits well with the Lakers. So I would say he should start over Lonzo.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, Lonzo's been the poster boy for the Lakers. He's been held as he's going to be the franchise's future.
Right.
So it's hard for them to want to bench him. So I understand where the Lakers franchise is coming from and what Walton's coming from and everything. But if you look at it in terms of percentages, so you have Lonzo who's shooting 36%. I'm actually surprised he's shooting that high.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
Isaiah who's shooting 39%. And from three, Lonzo's actually shooting it better than Isaiah. I just think overall, Isaiah is a more well-rounded point guard than Lonzo. And I understand that he's shorter, and me and Zach were talking about this as well. Isaiah, because of his height, always seems to get disrespected wherever team he's on.
Right.
I think that Lonzo isn't as terrible as everybody make him out to be, because he is a rookie, and if you look at his stats, you still got to give him at least some credit there. But at the same time, Isaiah has established himself as a point guard in this league as capable of going off for 30 to 40 points per game. He's a scorer. He's literally a scorer. And my worry is that Isaiah in the Lakers system isn't going to fit in because they're going to be looking to other guys like Ingram, like Kuzma, like Ball. And I'm worried that that's not the best system for Isaiah, even though he did score 29 last night. I just don't know if he's going to be capable to do that every single game. I just hope that the Lakers realize Isaiah is worth more than they're making him out to be.
Agree. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I just think personally, like, I don't know. I feel like California is Isaiah's home. Back in the days when he played with Sacramento, he was unstoppable. But then he also kind of
should go back. Like, he would fit there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could start him 1, Fox 2, or figure out something there to where Fox comes off the bench. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. What I was going to say is, I wonder if Isaiah will try to leave in the offseason and go somewhere, because I know he wants to start. He's stated that he obviously wants to start. He deserves to start. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to leave anywhere in the offseason.
Right. I think what team does he need? What team needs a point guard?
Well, there's a lot of teams that need point guards.
Like the Clippers. The Clippers.
I was thinking the Clippers. That was one thing that came to
Yeah.
mind. Another team that comes to my mind out of the East is the Magic. They could use a point guard.
Right.
But if you're looking for more established teams that could use a point guard anywhere in the NBA right now, I would say if Markelle Fultz isn't healthy and he doesn't end up working out with the Sixers, you could have Isaiah go there. That's pretty much most of the teams, I would say.
I also think the Spurs too, since their team is pretty old. I think they need some replacements, and I think Isaiah Thomas can fit in.
But I've heard a lot of news too of the Lakers wanting to try to go after Kyle Lowry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of news on that, and obviously Parker will be leaving soon. But another player I think the Lakers could go after too, knowing that Lillard's been there for so long in Portland, and they haven't been able to really get past the second round of the playoffs. And he deserves a ring, and he deserves to have the best chance possible. They might want to try to think about going after him as well. But you got the Spurs got a lot of options to try to go after point guards. All right, that's the end of this part for you guys. I'll be right back.